Feel a fist pump coming. Happy Thursday, and thank you for waking up with us. I'm Kara Sewell at South Victory. You know, last week we cheered on our essential workers. Time to do it again. Just step outside tonight at 7 o'clock for Thank You Thursday and give them a round of applause. Fort Worth and Dallas mayors are asking us all to give a standing ovation who are working every day on the front line. So make sure if you participate, you tag us and use the hashtag #IamUp. And I'm sure Marcus Took and Kaylee Dion are going to be participating this evening. Both of them are working from home right now. And Mark, it's not only Thank You Thursday, it's draft day. You heard me mention that fist pump. I know you got to be excited.
It is. It's very exciting. You know, in my time when I worked at NFL Network, this was really the highlight of the offseason. You have the pomp and the circumstances of the draft. I remember going to the draft in Dallas a couple of years ago. What a big event it was. What a great event for the city. Of course, that's not happening this year with social distancing. They are conducting the draft remotely. So we want to break down just what that's going to look like. Also, the Cowboys certainly have a lot of needs they are trying to address in the draft. They've got the 17th pick tonight. Who will they take? We're going to talk to WFAA sports reporter Mike Leslie in just a bit as he shares his thoughts and his opinions on everything that will go down tonight. Right here on WFAA, by the way, you can watch it at 7 p.m. And I know Kaylee Dion's husband will be tuning in.
Yeah, our whole house will be. He'll put it on every TV. He's so sports deprived. It's going to be a great day today, so you may not even want to be inside, but, you know, maybe later on you could take a step back in. Quiet and dry Thursday. Staying warm, though, today. Staying warm tomorrow, but don't worry for those of you that are not quite ready for the 80s to last for several days in a row. We have a cool down in store as we move forward. Mainly dry stretch as we move forward as well, so that's something that you can look forward to. If you look here, we have upper 50s to lower 60s out there, 57 in Springtown, 58 in Fort Worth, 59 in Terrell, 61 in Richardson right now. Wiley sitting at about 59. So that's for Dallas-Fort Worth. All of us really in the 50s and lower 60s. So here's how the rest of the day is going to unfold with that outdoor activity planner. It's going to be perfect to take the dog for a walk, to go and play in the backyard, do something, of course, with safe social distancing, but enjoy the great weather. We're going to have sunshine, plenty of it throughout the day. We have a green bar across the entire every hour of the day, topping out today right around the lower 80s, so about 5 degrees above the normal high temperature, Kara.
All right, thank you, Kaylee, for the update. Okay, as some businesses prepare to open, others are downsizing, which means letting people go. Later this morning, we're going to get a better idea of how many people are out of work when the newest unemployment numbers are released. Chris Sadeghi is on Lower Greenville, and you know, it used to be a hot spot for people. Now, because of the outbreak, it's just a whole lot of empty businesses.
And you could say that about a lot of places around town, Kara. Slowing the spread of the virus, the biggest concern. But as each day goes by, the concern about money grows larger. How people are going to pay their bills, both the local and federal government helping out in that regard, though, helping out small businesses like the ones here on Lower Greenville and all the people they employ. First of all, in Washington today, the House of Representatives is expected to approve more money for the Paycheck Protection Program. The Senate already approved $310 billion for the loan program to help small businesses survive the shutdown of the economy. But how long is that money going to last? There are some in the banking industry that say that money's pretty much already spent because of the long line of applications waiting at the Small Business Administration. Remember, the initial $350 billion for the program, it was evaporated in about 2 weeks. The Dallas City Council is also chipping in on a local level. Not only did they approve $5 million for small business loans, but they are trying to help people stay in their homes with $13.7 million devoted to helping low-income families pay rent, mortgage, and utilities. The fear of eviction has been a big concern from the public comment portion of recent council meetings. The relief will be starting for families making only 80% or less of the city's median income.
There is a vulnerable population that is going to be impacted due to circumstances that they could not have avoided. And I think it's important for us to do what we can to keep them in their homes.
And the city is working on setting up a website portal so people can submit applications to hopefully get a piece of that funding. They've also passed an ordinance to slow down the process that goes into evictions. The hope there is that tenants and landlords can work together, reach some kind of compromise without having to throw anybody out of their homes and onto the street. Mark, to you.
All right, thank you, Chris. Governor Greg Abbott's stay in a shelter-in-place order, expires next week, but he is already planning an announcement for today, and he may have tipped his hand yesterday in a radio interview where he said that he is considering partially opening some parts of the state of Texas, depending upon how many cases that county has. As we get to Hannah Davis, who is live from her home. And Hannah, this topic of reopening has become a very sticky one for our elected leaders to address.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody has a different opinion, especially in this really difficult time as we're trying to digest what's happening. But here's the deal. It's not just North Texas talking about this. We're really seeing municipalities, counties and states all over the country start to ask the question when to reopen, how to reopen, and how quickly. Let's take a look at some of the major areas across the country and what they're saying. On the reopening front, Georgia really has been the most aggressive. The governor there calling to open non-essential businesses like gyms, barbershops, nail salons with social distancing protocols by Friday. That's tomorrow. Also saying he wants restaurants to open on-site dining Monday with restrictions. Now, President Trump is speaking out saying he strongly disagrees with this move. He says he believes the governor is moving too fast, that reopening should be a slower process. Atlanta, Georgia's largest city, is pushing back. Its mayor also saying that the reopening process would just be going too quickly with that timeline. Now, another city leader across the country is pushing for more reopening as well. In Las Vegas, Mayor Carolyn Goodman said yesterday she wants casinos and resorts to open back up. Vegas's biggest moneymaker, that would be. She said all social distancing protocols would be on them, and that would really be their responsibility to figure out. Also here in Dallas, a salon owner said he wants to reopen whether the city and county approve or not. Salon a la Mode off Beltline and Coit. We talked to them. They say they just cannot afford to stay closed any longer. They'll be reopening at the risk of fines, even possibly jail time. The salon has said it plans for social distancing and precautions. The county closed salons and barbershops last month to curb the spread of COVID. Of course, though, opinions on this matter, when to reopen, how to reopen, they really vary across the country. But new information is coming out about how Americans feel about these moves. Let's take a look at this data right here. 61%, according to this new poll from the AP, say that Americans say the restrictions in their state are about right. That's 61% of folks. About 1 in 4 think they don't go far enough, and 12% say that the orders have gone too far where they live. Of course, though, this is an evolving conversation. It depends on where you are, but we want to hear from you guys at home to really open up this conversation. Let us know how you feel. Has it gone too far, not far enough? Use that hashtag #IamUp. Let us know so we can keep the conversation going. Mark, back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Hannah. Of course, hopefully those decisions are being made with the data in mind. Want to get you to the latest COVID-19 infection numbers in our state. North Texas has more than 6,000 confirmed cases reported. And in our viewing area, our 4 biggest counties, Dallas County now near 2,700 cases, Tarrant County more than 1,400. Denton and Collin counties are a little bit lower. Both of them are around 600 cases. And a reminder that most people who have contracted the illness have survived. By the way, the name game starts today at Katy Trail in Dallas as they try to keep crowds down. The city is asking only runners whose last names start with A through L to use the trail today and Saturday. If your last name starts with an M through a Z, you can use the trail on Friday and Sunday. Now, there's not going to be anybody out there handing out tickets. It is an honor system, folks, designed to keep you safe and healthy. And as this year winds down online, schools are already making their plans for the fall. That includes their hiring plans as well. And Irving ISD is hosting a job fair, a virtual job fair. They're hosting it online from noon till 2 and 4 till 6. You do need to register at irvingisd.net/job fair. And the holy month of Ramadan begins this evening, and of course the pandemic changing the way that Muslims observe Ramadan. No prayer service, no community gatherings. So clerics are leaning on centuries-old guidance from Muhammad on how to keep faith during a plague. There are 3.5 million Muslims getting ready to celebrate Ramadan here in the U.S. Kara?
Thanks, Mark. So the impact of coronavirus touches every demographic. A new resource created in response to the pandemic aims to fill the gap for young people trying to navigate life during a crisis. Alex Quinn is a co-founder of Young Leaders for Change, a nonprofit dedicated to engaging and empowering young people. He and his co-founder created Let's Thrive Now as an online resource center dedicated to helping men and women between 18 and 30 years old.
Just wanted to do the best job we could to gather resources that were well vetted, we know came from reliable sources, and really would speak to young people and present information in a way that was engaging and actually helpful towards what many of them are dealing with right now.
Like being quarantined with a roommate you don't exactly like, transforming a canceled summer internship, and providing real talk about staying financially healthy, like which bills to prioritize, because that's sort of where we're at, and building up your credit score, topics we're all really thinking about, but this is just geared toward a younger audience. It's basically the adulting resource we all need at that stage of life.
You know, there's people that had jobs lined up for after they were graduating, and now they're not even sure if they're going to still be in that position. And the thought of them having to go back through that stressful job search is something that's really thrown them for a loop, on top of already having to take online classes.
Ultimately, every generation is receiving a calling to design our new normal, and generational research suggests the things that happen when you're young have a profound effect on the rest of your life and the way you view things. So that's why Quian, who's a recent college grad himself, wants to help people his age navigate the pandemic together. You can find those resources at letsThriveNow.org.